Welcome to Bunny's Designs. This is a live stream for ustream.tv, which I have broken already this morning, and this is also recorded for YouTube for people to watch at their leisure. So I've covered my little book on Monday or yesterday. I can't remember when I did it now. Oh, I think it was yesterday. And I can still see through it though, and I covered it in the gold because I thought I'd want to be a bit different. And my other one, can't pick my other one up now because we've been playing with it and it's got some wet pages on it. So I looked at the bronze and I still think that's quite pale, so I've poured a little bit too much out of there, so I'm going to use the same one, I think. And I'm pretty sure I like this one. It's warmer. So that's the gold, which is a little bit of a shimmer. Whoops. That one is the bronze, and then that one's the copper. So the copper is warmer. So I'm going to use that. Now, I really haven't decided what I'm going to do inside yet. So I could either make a bit of a collage and then it will match. So that would be quite nice. So it's still matching. I could straighten that off and then just put that. I might do that. And then how much am I on this side here? Oh, just that bit, so we can put that bit on there and cut that bit off. I might do that. I'm going to make that like a collage, you think. I quite like this. As a tight Yorkshire lass, I don't want to waste these bits. But what I do need to do is to give it a bit of colour. So I might be a little bit careful with this. And put that one on there. I hope you can see everything okay. Oh, hi Dorothy. Welcome to Bunny's Designs. This is a live stream for ustream.tv with, I like to say, you'll be very impressed with this, Dorothy. Sorry to make you sick. Hello, puppy! Alfie Doofs. Hello, darling. He's with us. Bless him. We think the lorry might have a big dint in it, because there's not much of a dint in Alfie. So, I'm glad to say Alfie has a double fractured pelvis and oopsie, I've done something with the camera. That's better. Sorry, I've changed direction of this and I shouldn't have done really. That's better. Oh, you can see my little pink. I've been playing in my journal and I've got wet napkin baby wipes that I've used, so I'm going to use those in my journal. So they're dangling on the extended lamp. So Alfie's with us. He's as I say, he's got 2 hairline fractures on his pelvis, and he's got some damage to one of the vertebrae, but his spine looked perfectly okay. There was no skew whiffy things. That looked brilliant, and he did wag his tail a bit yesterday, and again that was a good sign before we went last night. So although my vet is kind of, you think, you know, get him under there, let's have a look, he did the best thing. He left him a good well, it was yesterday lunchtime when I was watching Dee Dee that he got run over. So he'd managed to, he left him that night until the following day, to x-ray him, and so Alfie had calmed down and got used to the pain, so that was, you know, that was pretty good. But I do trust this vet. He's fab, so bless him. And that's it. He had a mark on his head where he head-butted the lorry, and I say my husband's still in shock, bless him, because he cannot believe he saw him run straight under the lorry, or straight into the lorry. He saw the lorry hit him, and then he saw the car behind the lorry. Obviously, they didn't have time to swerve, hit him again. So he's in awe at the moment. And of course, the other 20 cars that just drove over him. There's some. So he's done very well. He's lost a dew claw. He's lost his little dew claw from up here. And he's got a little mark on his nose and his eyes a little bit bloodshot, just a tiny bit. But considering the fact he's had a double hit, I think he's done extremely well. My hubby thinks because the lorry actually hit him and knocked him out, he was stiff and he was out of it, so he kind of just laid there like a... so we think that's probably what saved him. But he's a lucky bunny. So he's going to have a few weeks of not walking, so I'm going to take a pillowcase and open it up, and then make a place so that he can wee out of, make a hole, and then the rest of the pillowcase will be holding his front to his front paws and his middle to his back paws, and then we can tie it up hopefully to my Zimmer frame so we can take him outside. So that because he tried to stand up again this morning to have a wee, so he was obviously howling in pain. So, but we think he's very lucky. Oh, thank you, Dorothy. Yes, as I say, we couldn't have even hoped for no spinal damage, and he didn't lose any teeth. He lost a dew claw. So we're in awe of our little vet, bless him. And I like him better on his back, but he gets too hot he was on a double quilt, and he was panting all night because he was too hot, because he gets too hot anyway. So he's on his side, and he actually got up and turned over about 20 minutes ago. So he's still with us, bless him, and he's obviously going to be okay. So thank you for all your wonderful prayers and hugs. So of course, that's Alfie thing. He likes to be centre of attention, and he's going to be centre of attention. So I put copper over there because I wasn't happy. Oh, I'm sorry about the glare. That's going to be really not nice, is it? Sorry about that. That's going to be better. I'll set that on there. I'll put red on that if I do one day. We find something. Nope. Would that be better if I did that? And I did that. And I did that. No, it's not that one. It's that one. So if I put it in my eye, no, it's not much better, is it? No, we're going to have to do something about that. Because it's in my eyes now. Sorry about that. So, I've knocked the camera. I'm just not doing very well today. No. Oops, sorry, that's everybody sick. I moved the camera and it seems to be... Oh, you can see the wire now. There's a spring on the wire. So if I move that like that, very carefully move that like that. So So that's actually quite nice. So that's the normal colour. That's gold, which is very pale, and that's copper. So I quite like that. And then that one was the bronze. But I think the copper is nicer. So I can take that off there. And hopefully not get as much glare on this. And I put it on fairly thin, 2 reasons, tight Yorkshire lass, and also you don't really need this on. In fact, you should do that really. Look, you can do this and then have that kind of effect. That's quicker. And get rid of the lines. That's a lot quicker, and it's fairly thin, is that? So it probably. Oh, I've just had an idea. Oh, I wonder if I could use that on the pages. Oh, that would be good. So I think that's dry now, so that's good. So I'll pop that into here. Sorry about the crinkles. So I just kind of squidge this across. I might not get away with it with this because it's kind of it's drying very quickly, but that's lovely because it means I don't have to get the hairdryer, because I think Alfie wouldn't like the hairdryer going off. He doesn't like the Hoover. So I've got a funny feeling he's not going to like. Now I'm going to experiment and try and put another layer on this, because I can just see the title of the book and I don't want the title of the book. And I don't want the lines on it either. I can see the barcode thing, but I can make that a feature and put coloured by or something on there, because I can use whoopsie, I can stamp. I've got some stamps. I can stamp. I've got some stamps, if that makes sense. So I can, but I'm thinking if I put another layer on it, I might get away with it. I wanted to keep some of the black. But considering this is flower, in the UK, some of the florists, I don't know which one it is, they're using this gorgeous paper. Oops, are you okay? He's had a drink of water, but he's had nothing to eat. So there's this gorgeous paper from the florist. I cut it in half, and I may actually cut the tag out. I was going to keep this to do another book, but I do like that tag. The only thing I could do with it, I've just realised, is I could photocopy this in black and white and tea dye it. That's what I could do. I was going to go around the edges. Excuse me. I've had a coffee this morning because although Alfie did sleep, I didn't sleep the night before because I kept not poking him, but I kept stroking him to stimulate him, to keep him out of shock. I did it with the rabbit when the rabbit was first ill, and it works. So I do it with all animals for the first 24-48 hours until they look like they're not in shock, and it tends to keep them alive. So that's what I've been doing. So he was a bit sick of me by the end. Oh dear, Dorothy, poor Dorothy's having trouble with, well, I don't touch any banks. Hubby does everything, and I certainly don't do it online. I have a little account that I've had since I was 18. Oh, 17 actually. No, actually 16 when I went to college. And I've got the same account. And they keep wanting me to change it, but of course you pay for banks. I don't pay for mine because I've had it that long. And I don't get any perks, but I'm not bothered. But I object to paying for an account. And because I've had the same account, there's a little bit of money in there that I've got for PayPal and for eBay to buy things. So if anybody gets hold of my account, they've got a few bob. So that's good. I don't pay any bills and I don't see any. So I'm a bit of a... I've been spoiled over the last 20 years. I've gone from doing everything with my first husband to not paying any bills with my second. Oh dear, excuse me. So I think because I'm a bit tired, I'm run down a bit because staying up all night. Oh dear, excuse me. So it's nearly worked. I can't see much of, and I did catch it. I noticed that I heard that catch. Oh, it's actually might brush off. Oh, that's good. Because that's the cover. Oh dear, excuse me. So I'm hoping that Alfie's going to be good and stay there. So, and again, that's dried almost immediately. So again, that's quite good. Can't really see unless you want to look. What happened to the barcode? Well, it's a barcode, but you can't really see it unless you look. But what I thought about doing was, so I can put these away now. So, sorry, Dorothy. This is a Pat. What did I say? It was a Pat Booth novel. And I wanted to read it before I did this, but I didn't get a chance. And I started it as a journal because I saw it and thought, that's going to be my junk journal, book journal, recycled book. So I did a few pages, and then because I moved from the shed into here, it got left. And then I found it the other day. So I'm rearranging my room, and I'm finding all sorts, like the poster paints. The kids' poster paints, and so the first video I did earlier, the first stream, is about playing with pages, and I haven't played for a good few years. Well, not too many years, but it's a long time since I made that book. I made a serial book with Jenny Belly's design to make a junk book, and I made mine with wallpaper, so it cost me pennies. Or maybe a pound or two. So I'm going to make another one of those, but I wanted to do the National Non-Stop Journaling Month 2016. And I just thought, that's going to really get me into this book. And as a tight Yorkshire lass, I can't pull any of these pages out. So I'm going to do what Dee Dee says with her journal magazines, and start at the back and the front, and then hopefully in the middle we won't be kinked. Don't know whether that's the right thing to do in a book, but it's got 822 pages. But what gave me the idea, although that is bronze, I did like the gold. I wonder if I could gold the pages up. Because that would look really scrummy then, wouldn't it? So I think you have to nip it. I don't think I've got anything to nip it with, have I? I do have a clamp, but I don't know where they are. So I'll do that last. I think I'll do that last. I think Dee Dee did a video on it, so I'm going to have a look at hers and see what she did. I'm sure she golded one of them up, didn't she? Pretty sure she did. Oh, so sorry to hear about Dorothy. Yeah, once they get like that, it's a pain in the butt. So I can just about see the lining. So I wanted to use that as a label. But then I've had an idea. I do have some more of this paper. Poor hubby. he now brings me flowers now. But for nearly, well, 20 years, he wasn't allowed to bring me flowers. I hated flowers. And when he used to buy me flowers, it was always in the doghouse. Poor lad. I thought that might be nice if I cut this out and had it dangling over the front as well. That would be nice. But I've just thought I might photocopy that. But because I haven't moved things back, the printer's not back in the room. So I'm going to leave the cover. I've got it this copper colour. Sorry, I've got this silly glare. And these metallics they are quite good. I'm very impressed with them. Very impressed with them. Because as I say, I bought a little tube of rubbing buff, and I think that's as good. I think that is as good. Because I used the rubbing buff on the other books that I showed in the video before. So it's got, and I didn't scrunch it up, I just left it quite flat. And it did go very flat actually, I'm very impressed. I only used the credit card and glue, and then I glued it with the glue at one side, and then with the clean side I smoothed it out, and it's done very well. It's very, very flat. Sorry, the glare. Very, very flat. So that's going to be quite nice to take with me, and if I can get the gold on the edge, that'll be good. So to get rid of that glare, I've also decided to keep these bits and kind of put them on here so I don't waste any, and I like that, so I could possibly put that one there, and I love the writing on it as well, so I can put that one on there and then cut that off and have that bit over there, and that's coppered, so that's quite nice. I need a little bit for the back. I think there's another piece somewhere. Yes, there should be 4 pieces, shouldn't there? And there's a little tiny bit there. So there should be 4 pieces because we had 4 corners. So somewhere on the floor there's a corner, so that would make that a patchwork. And I quite like that idea. So I want 30 pages doing for this. Now whether I go forward or backwards, that's the decision. I don't really like these pages. I was playing. And again, this is poster paint, so I might do 30 pages at the back, and I need to just take that one. Oops, I shouldn't have done that. Well, it'll come out now. There's always one that actually sticks the book in, so I can stick that back. I might do that, but I'll do it now. Yes, I'm going to do that now. I'm going to stick that back in. Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. I've had a birthday card from Dee Dee with an art card, and I've got, my daughter gave me a little thing that I can display all my things in. So I'm using wood glue, PVA wood glue, again Wilco's, but that's what I stuck the thing on it, and it's pretty good, is that it's cheap, solvent free, and it's very good. I have to say it's very good. So I'm just going to pop this one back in here. I'm going to stick it in that way, because that way it means it's going to lie flat. Oh, it's not going to lie flat, is it? Dirty woman. But it's in there. And if I could just find my little bone folder. And again, I've got all my tools about, which is I can reach lots of things now, but I'm going to build some shelves up, but can't do anything with Alfie like he is, so I can't leave the room to go get things, so we're stuck. So somebody's always got to be with him, and my daughter's not coming back till later. So yeah, it doesn't like that, so I'm gonna have to stick it back in that way. I'm gonna have to stick it back exactly where it was. Duh. Never mind. I could use a stronger glue, I suppose. I'm making a bit of a pig's ear of that, aren't I? Yeah, just a bit of a pig's ear. You've got to be a little bit careful, especially being such a big book, because this spine, this bit here is going to take quite a batting, I have to say. It's going to be, but of course I've got to get that page back in. Now I could use sellotape. I think I might just do that. I can't think of any other tape. I've got some green tape. I didn't really want to use green tape. I found all sorts of things. It's been like Christmas. It's going to go back in there anyway, so but it's just not going to go in there now. That was a bit of a mess, but never mind. I'm just wondering about this spine. Right, so we'll start with page 822. Oh yes, Dorothy, you did, didn't you? Yes, sorry, you did win the. I saw that. You won the giveaway with the bits and the pockets. Oh, how wonderful! I was thinking about that because I tried to get some of those baseball pockets, but I wondered if our football pockets would do, because of course we don't do baseball. But that was another thing I thought about. So I'm going to do this page. I'm going to be a little bit careful. I'm just wondering about playing here. No, I'm going to leave that because I'm not happy with. I'm going to have to play about with that beforehand. Otherwise, I'll just see what glue I've got. I should have some strong glue. I've got some of this Collal, which is very good. I'm going to put some of this on it. This should do it. We used to use this years ago. I'm going to put an extra bit down there. Oh, poke out. Just going to try and put a bit in there. Now we used to call it cow gum, and we used to use this as masking fluid because we didn't have masking fluid in those days. Gee whiz. Right, so I'm just wondering if I can just get a little bit under there. This is just going to give it a bit. It's my own fault. I should have realised I can't play about with spines. Having made my books, this is one of the most important pages. Oops, and it sticks, but I'm going to put that, and I've got to get that perfect at the front more than anywhere else, because obviously if I'm going to gold it. Right. So I've decided to do that. Yes, but I can't complain. Say I've had a birthday card from Dee Dee, and she put an art card in it, which was obviously wonderful. So that was pretty good. So just bear with me a second. I'm just mending this spine that I've managed to poke to bits now. This silly thing to do. because the one thing this book is going to have is a lot of wet in the spine. So I'm just going to leave that in its natural position. So I'm going to go the edges. And I'm doing this 30 days, so I'm way behind, and I didn't do my Inktober either. So I'm going to do the Inktober, but I'm going to do it in November. Oh dear me. Have you got any other loose pages while I'm about? No, that's kind of okay. You see, I left that one alone. I don't know, I didn't leave this one alone, but I didn't. Anyway, so those two need to be stuck. So again, I think I shut it up. No. It's nice stuff, this. It does smell a little bit though. As I say, it's what we used years and years and years ago, but and because I'm going to be using quite a lot of things, I'm going to really make sure this sticks. This is a job I didn't expect to do, but if I do it now, it makes sure that this is going to last and not drop to bits. So I'm going to put that in there just to make sure we don't get any of the pages glued together. Right, so you've got to be a bit careful with the spines if you're using a book. Have we got any questions? And it's a very miserable day in the UK. I'm going to get rid of that because I seem to be putting a lot of and I cleaned this one. I cleaned both of them actually, didn't I? Yes, I cleaned them, so I just leave that a little bit. So I'm using the poster paints for a basic background, and then I'll be using these acrylics for the second kind of layer, and for putting, I'll just open that printer things in it. So if I leave that like this, I don't like these bits that are appearing on here now. So I can give it another coat. So I've got that one. I don't like that one at all. I don't particularly like that one. I really don't like that. So I think I have to put that into there and that one to there. And again, this is the one that I just took out of the other one and made a complete mess of, so I've got to be a bit careful with that one and make sure it has a nice space on there. So I really don't like that at all. So I can get rid of these because I'm not using them. See what the purpley blue one does. I don't know what kind of paint this is on here. I think that's maybe crayon. I'm not quite sure. Could get rid of that as well. So I say I have this really ugly glass cabinet behind me, but it's working out to be quite useful. Oh, that's interesting. Look, it is crayon because it's not going over the top. I quite like that. So it's got like a resist effect. But I've got rid of that nasty red, so that's quite nice. quite like having a bit of a play. And especially with cheapy poster paint. And poster paint gives a little bit of a 2, but not much. But it's not sticky, it's very matte, and it's cheap and cheerful, and it's still quite a nice paint to play with. And it washes out of everything, so again, that's quite nice. Oopsie. And again, I quite like that actually. You don't find out what you're doing until you're actually playing. Sorry about the scrapey noise. I quite like playing with acrylics. Sorry, with poster paint. And it gives a bit of a tooth. I might just get a little paintbrush if I've got one handy. I turned round, I'd have one handy. I want a cheapy nasty one. And just get in that corner there. Now, I could pop the hairdryer on that, but as I say, little man won't like that. And Olivia's been quiet there, it's fine. Just put the fire on a little bit. Just to take the chill off. He's not covered up, but he gets a little bit warm, bless him. I'm just going to take that off. I quite like some of these marks down that way. So I've got rid of that nasty colour that I didn't like, and I can live with that because I can go over it, so that's quite nice. And it won't take long for it to dry. And my thing decides it wants to be on a bit of a slant. So that's one page that's nearly dry. And again, that's quite nice. The other acrylics, if you use them really thin, they dry really quickly as well, but just at the moment, a hairdryer isn't particularly an option. But it's quite nice to be messy. Oh, yes, Dorothy, I forgot you said that last time, didn't you? Dorothy says she's got a gadget that makes the plastic pockets. Is that like the sealer you can have for cooking? And you run it along and it seals the plastic together. That sounds quite interesting, does that? I could possibly try and invest in one of those. So I need a title, and I need to do days and times as well. Again, that's a little bit thin, but when that's dried, it will be fine. They are going to get a bit chunky, these. They may tear. Again, I can put that in there, because I don't like these 2 pages either. And I do realise that that one actually start to go in there now. Oops. And I don't like those, so I'm going to get rid of those as well. And I hate that, but I'm not tearing the page out. I'm just going to put something over it. And so we'll go for the red. I need rid of this. I dropped the bottle. Oops. I dropped the bottle. Now I think that's ruined that one because it's that's acrylic and that's poster. It's very thin layer, is that? I'm not sure that's going to do anything. I might have to go over these with acrylics, I think. Yeah, if I do that really thin, it will dry. Yeah, I think I probably have to switch to some of these acrylics. So I had that really nice deep red, the cadmium red, which was 99p, and the other red one I had. I don't know if it was that one. It might have been. No, it said for professional artist, didn't it, that one? I think. I don't know what I've done with it now. See if I can find it. But it's been brilliant finding all sorts of new things to play with. That's been really good. There's a glitter one there, but I didn't want to get there. But if we use... I don't think it was this one. It might have been, but I didn't think it was. No, it's definitely not. It's pink here, but I don't know where it is. But never mind. I'll put it on with this. So this is going to be stronger. But of course, if you're using this, you've got to remember, you've got to wash your brushes out straight away because they will just go into nothing. Whereas poster paint will wash out of anything. So just got to think. I like this for the second layer, but I think that'll just give these pages a bit more strength. I'll have to let that dry. Rose Madder. That's the one I used earlier. I think this one is cadmium red. The Rose Madder was just a bit more pinky. It was quite good finding all sorts of things. So I'm wading myself through these because, as I say, some of these I really don't like. So I'm just giving them a bit of a plain cover over. So that's the poster paint, which is very matte, and there is a bit of a tooth to it, which is quite nice. And then this will be quite shiny. And I like the poster paint because the paint rubs off your hands quite nicely. But they are a little bit too matte, maybe. See, that's acrylic, it's a little bit shiny. So we'll have to see what happens next. So I was putting a little bit on here and using a sponge. I think I'll do that. Because it's quite a nice way, but it will be damaged. It won't come off. Because it's acrylic. And now these do say fine art quality acrylic paints, but you know, they're nice. They're lovely and creamy look. They are nice, but I don't think they're the same. But I might be wrong. But I don't like these really childish patterns that I was obviously in a very childish mood when I did them. And again, I'd not done them really before, so it was plain. But probably covered up with some layers of paint, they probably look alright. And I don't know what Madam wants, but she can go sit down. It's all Madam's fault that Alfie didn't let Alfie escape it. So I can leave that. I've got some more paint on there. So what I might do is put a little bit of, although I do have a purple here, but let me have a look for. So this is again a cheapy one. Let me see if I can pull this off. No, no. I may have to stay on there unless I can poke it off with a toothpick. Oh, that's better. Let me just. It's better, and it's away. So I have a couple of these little glass, and again I wanted to buy them not because they've got a pudding in them. I think is it Goo G-U-G-U? It's quite a posh dessert, but they're really expensive. But I do like the glass jars. They don't have a topping. Oh, go away, dog! Please behave yourselves. They don't have a top. But what they do have is a glass bottom, which I used when I was doing my colour mixing, and they're quite nice for this. Oops. You see, that's a lot thinner, so actually that might be professional paint. So did I not have a blue in that one then? And I just dropped a clanger. I normally buy them, oh, that's a nice colour. Ooh. I normally buy them for about 99p or £1. It's not very often I pay more. Do you think I had 2 or 3 browns? So I'm going to pull these out for 2 reasons. I quite like them. And I did like the, I don't know how many I've got. I think I put that earlier. I think I've got about 4. And that's a white one. I've obviously bought them from, I haven't bought from an art shop. There's Wilko's paints here. I don't know what quality they're like. And of course you can get some nice purpley colours in there, and pinks. Again, I'm not really into purple and pinks. That was the one I used on the other book, which I quite liked. So I'm just thinking if I had a blue one. It's unusual for me to not to buy a blue. Oh, she's managed it nearly. Could be trouble now because she wants to get up and go out. I've got a yellow ochre. That looks so nice. This is its acrylic cadmium yellow. Just going to have to put a little tiny bit of hand cream on. It's nearly dried, is that? If I'd done it a bit thinner, it would have dried quicker. I don't know what's made my hands go a little bit. I've got glitter paint and all sorts in this acrylic pot. I'm surprised I haven't got a blue though, but never mind. I can't remember where I bought these from. I can't remember where I bought them from. I'll get rid of a bit of that, and a bit of that, and then we'll put that between. That's dried now. So that's very, very matte, and that's going to be shiny. But I think these pages probably need that because they are paper, and they are novel thin paper, so it's not like, and that's a bit damp, is that one? I was playing with crayons, I think, there, so I'm not quite sure what's going to happen with that one. I thought I'd got a burnt umber and a burnt... Oh, that says burnt umber. A burnt sienna, but I'm sure I got a burnt umber in this series. Let's see if I get it on there. Nope, I haven't put it on there. How strange. So that one is burnt umber. I swore I got a burnt... Ah, there it is. I've got a raw umber there. So these are more my normal colours. So I might just do... I can't do that on there because I've got red. So we'll put... let's see what happens with this. Oh, it's going over the top, so that's good. So I'll put that onto there. That's going a bit pinky. I don't really like that, but let's get rid of that silly design. So if I can do 30 pages, I found some stamps and stencils, and years ago I bought my daughter a jigsaw, a 3D jigsaw, but it has the most amazing patterns on it, so I always said I was going to keep those for stamps. Again, I was in trouble for keeping them, but in the end I had to throw quite a lot away, but I did keep a few. I whittled some away. But I am a bit of a hoarder, and I just forgot to put that in there. And I mean, this is really slapdash, but I just want to get 30 backgrounds down so I can start journaling, because I don't really know much about journaling, but if I can get a one word down, that's what I was going to do. I've just reminded myself, because of Alfie, I was going to do a gratitude journal. Well, I was going to do one anyway, but I didn't have one. So I was going to think that maybe I could spend this 30 days as a 30-day gratitude journal. But I've got the prompts, haven't we? So the gratitude journal could be backwards as I'm working forwards. So every day I do this, I then do a page of what I'm grateful for that day. So again, that's nearly dry, but that one isn't. But I don't like the pattern, but it will disappear eventually. And I'm hoping this is going to give these pages just a little bit more kind of oomph, because they are quite thin. So if I can put that there, I can flip that, and I can now do this one. So that's a green. Now I don't really like that green. Never mind thinking about what you don't like. I'm doing, whoopsie, I'm trying to go with things I don't normally do. I'm thinking about colours that I don't like. Oopsie, isn't one of them, so let's have a bit of that. Now that would be nice with that purple, but yeah. I suppose I could have put maybe again, I think maybe the answer is not to get too much paint in the spine to damage the pages. So I had a little brush that had watercolour on it, and I need a little jar. These are very clean, are they? No, full of bits. Should have another one somewhere. I found all sorts of jars and pots and things, but here we have, if I can get to it, a collapsible water pot, which I will probably take to the Abbey. Oh, that's very kind of you. I don't know if we can get them in this country. So I saw some at the Star Trek convention. And I didn't know if they say they wanted £10 a sheet, and I didn't know if that was expensive or not. But then I suppose English stamps are expensive. I'm just trying to get this, popping this water pot up. Oopsie. Oopsie. That will do. I don't want much. And it's a scruffy old brush anyway, but I thought if I kept that quite dry. I was going to do my daughter's Star Trek thing, but I'm starting so many things. I don't know if I'll have time to actually do what I wanted to do. And then I thought I could actually just draw them, because they're not a difficult pattern, are they? But that's very kind of you. I'll just let me. Mind if I think about it, I'll forget, won't I? Because I forgot last time. I'll oopsie. Are they not normal currency? Does that make sense? Are they like we have special stamps that come out to use? Or are they kind of collectors? Or are they pretend? Does that make sense? It's just, I know things are expensive to send out. Just conscious of, oops, I want to get rid of that wording if I can. Oopsie. I suppose that green's kind of grown on me now. But if I keep it really, really thin, it may dry quicker. Baby wipe. So I can, I think you can do a PayPal thing, can't you? I think you can do a PayPal thing. I've never done it successfully, but I think you can. Don't know why that dog's crying in the other room. That's kind of, yeah, I'll have a think about, I don't know if I like that green. Oopsie. It's actually not that, it's not that dark. I don't know why it looks like that, but thank you. So was somebody from America trying to make a fast book then? So let me just see. I just have to play with the colour, because that colour is not right. No, I don't like the colour. It's like Hooker's green, I think. Oh, that's a bit wishy-washy, isn't it? Colour's definitely not right there. See if I can. Ooh, that's suppose if you try and mess too much, you completely lose it. So what have we got there? Oh, that's not too bad, I think. That's not too bad, but it's the wrong green. It's like Hooker's green, isn't it? And what's that one then? And that's a red, and that's a deep royal blue. That's a bit pale. That should be deep red. Okay then. So we've got those colours. Let's see what's happened with these. So it's given them a little bit more oomph. It's going to feel almost like material rather than they've dried. So, and then I can put that one there. So you can actually go through without a hairdryer. You can just about get away with it. Now that's a bit shiny and I don't like that. So what I'm going to do is put... Now that is a very thick page. So that's obviously a different acrylic because that feels like material. Oh, that's kind of you, Sandy. That's really kind of you. I'll message you if I can message anybody. I'm not very good at messaging. I kind of tweet everything and it goes all over. What can we do with that? Let's have a raw umber. Let's see if we can get... Oh, now that looks to be like professional watercolour. Or an Alfie special, depending on how you look at it. Let's see what that does. Did I wipe that colour off there? Yes, I did. It's quite nice, is this paint, I have to say. The only thing is, I can't for the life of me remember when I bought it. It could have been, it's either Hobbycraft, but they normally put Hobbycraft things on there. I probably think it's the range we have at the UK. It's probably the range. In the kids section, I always go through the kids section. Because sometimes you find some quite good stamps there, and they're not £10 and £12 each. Not always, but sometimes. Oh, I quite like that, because I don't like this brown. I like this brown better. As I say, I don't know what mood I was in, but it was summer and I was outside, so I need to put a book. And the little dog next door has been a little bit of a pest. I'm going to try and keep that out of there if I can. So you get a nice coating, very, very thin, because of course there's going to be a lot of pages in this book. It's an acrylic, so it's a plastic. It's a plastic coating with colour, basically. So that's going to give those pages, as long as I keep them quite dry, some quite a good and if you can keep it quite thin, it's going to dry really quickly. So that's going to be quite good as well. What do I need to do now? Put that. Just conscious of the fact I need something that's quite chunky. That do? That may do. Just conscious of the fact that I'm actually on my water pot. Oh, that's a bit better. Yes, that's a bit better. So let's have a look at that. I might lift that out, turn it round. Acrylic behaves itself quite well if you let it dry without touching anything else. But it doesn't come off your hands as good. Now, that does look quite dark in there, doesn't it? But that's quite a nice brown. I like that. I like that. And it's given that. It's dried already. Probably in the spine would be better. Oh, I have to keep an eye on the time because Dee Dee's on in a bit. So I'm going to carry on, and I'm going to use these little bit better acrylics because they can give a nice tooth. And then the words have disappeared, and I'm going to get rid of some of these. So I like these poster paints, but I'm going to keep those for my really cheapy things. But I think because I want to do this as a proper journal, I think I might use the acrylics because they do tend to give themselves a little bit better tooth and a little bit more strength. A bit more strength to the page, and that's what we need to do, I think, because that spine is going to take quite a lot of batting. So what day are we on today? It must be Wednesday today. So I think Dee Dee will be on very shortly. It's Wednesday, and I'm just going to go do my 30 books, and then I might stream a bit later if I do that. If not tomorrow, I'll stream my till lunchtime when Mad Rat Lady Emma comes on, and I'll do catch up with my journal, my journal. So thanks for watching. Quite enjoy playing with these things at the moment. So I'll stop this video now and say thanks for watching part 1 of, and I've written it down somewhere, and I can't find it, my NaNoJouMo 2016. Thanks for watching.